side characters. In some cases, it's the side characters that become even more interesting than some of the main characters. However, there's another tier aside from those that is even more enjoyable to watch: the background characters. These are the people who make cameos here and there. Sometimes they don't even have speaking roles, but they've got an unexpected amount of depth in them. There's one character who, from the moment he first appeared in Adventure Time, has been surrounded by subtle hints of his true dark nature. A character that is best friends with Death himself. A character that has been present in every dark corner of every room. A character that is somehow sweet and steeped in courtesy, but carries a darkness that no amount of sugar can hide. This is the story of Peppermint Butler, the candy of corruption.
Flavor! Stop screaming! Why are you screaming?
See, like Peppermint Butler being terrified of the Lich in that one episode,
whoa.
Whenever I go out or I'm traveling, I feel the exact same way. It took me ages to realize that whenever I'm out here watching Adventure Time episodes on public Wi-Fi, my data is wildly exposed. Which brings me to today's video partner, NordVPN. I'm not here to BS you guys with anything, this thing slaps. NordVPN protects you from all the annoying phishing emails, the scams, and the malware that makes your computer go. The thing is, you never think it's gonna be you. Your data can be stolen just like that. So I use it anytime I'm traveling or connecting to public Wi-Fi because it encrypts my data and keeps my browsing private.
Giving him to me!
On top of that, there have been so many people who constantly ask me where I watch Adventure Time or some of the other shows I cover. Well, NordVPN gives you access to geo-blocked content on every streaming platform. You can get access using my link, nordvpn.com/OmarIlyas. This is the best deal you'll find right now because every purchase of a 2-year plan through my link gives you 4 bonus months. Again, that's nordvpn.com/OmarIlyas. And look, if you try it and decide it's not for you, NordVPN has 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's literally zero risk. So again, if you want to watch the shows I cover, protect yourself online while doing it, and stop those ridiculous scam links, check out my exclusive offer at nordvpn.com/OmarIlyas. Huge thank you to NordVPN for supporting the channel. With that, let's get back to the video.
Because I'm excited by this meal I made!
Peppermint Butler, as I stated in the intro, was merely a background character with minor appearances here and there. He was simply Princess Bubblegum's butler, a loyal servant who helped Finn and Jake whenever he could. And the first time we ever see a peek of his true nature was when he gave Finn and Jake the biggest Hail Mary get out of jail free card ever. This is the episode Death in Bloom. Finn and Jake are tasked with taking care of one of these plans for Princess Bubblegum, and they do a pretty good job.
We killed it, man!
I know!
So they decide they need to go to the land of the dead to try and retrieve the plant's soul. Peppermint Butler then accidentally overhears them and says he can take them there in exchange for a price.
Which we can discuss later.
Cryptic MF. He tells them to look into this corner and cross their eyes, and then a demonic portal opens that leads to the land of the dead. He then says,
Say hi to Death for me if you see him.
The rest of the episode is Finn and Jake f***ing around in the dead world while a bunch of these skeletons chase after their flesh.
Look at all that flesh jiggling.
Get him!
Jake!
I thought it would be funny!
Jake? Why are you making stupid face?
Who's Jake?
And eventually they meet Death, who tells them to piss off. He then has a screaming match with Finn, who loses, and just as Death is about to claim his soul, Finn says,
Honor bound to tell you, Peppermint Butler says hi.
What? You know Peppermint Butler?
and just like that, Death's demeanor completely shifts. He kisses Jake, I'm not giving you context for this, and he gives them back the soul of the plant. Upon returning, Peppermint Butler says to them,
I believe you still owe me something in exchange for that favor I did.
Sure, yeah. What is it?
I'd like your flesh. I'm going to take it from you while you sleep.
Like I said, this was the first glimpse of Peppermint Butler's evil and dark tendencies. He not only took Finn and Jake to the dead world, but through his close friendship with Death, Finn and Jake managed to escape unscathed. The thing is, that threat at the end doesn't exactly ever come to pass, but we'll see that dark side explored more in future episodes. After this, Peppermint Butler has a handful of minor appearances, some with him just as a supporting character, and some that continue to hint at his true demonic nature. In The Eyes, Peppermint Butler asks Finn and Jake to take care of a certain problem he has.
I swear I found him like this. I don't know what happened.
Bullshit.
Trust me, with what we see this guy do later, he looks guilty as fuck. In Mortal Recoil, PB is revived after Ice King accidentally drops her into this well, and it's clear she's not her real self. As you guys saw earlier, when Peppermint Butler sees her, this confirms he has the power to sense pure evil, because as we know, PB here is being possessed by the Lich. In the episode No One Can Hear You, a deer, yes, a deer, manages to knock Finn and Jake out for supposedly 6 months and takes the entire Candy Kingdom hostage. That includes Peppermint Butler. Now sure, you could argue that the writers hadn't come up with exactly what they wanted to do with this character, but I'd argue that with his appearance in Death in Bloom, this episode just illustrates that this deer was even more unhinged than we all thought, able to take out someone who has close connections with death and dark magic. magic. Or maybe he was just caught off guard. We do see that happen countless times in the show. Go check out my video breaking down this episode, by the way. In the episode Return to the Nightosphere, we can see a painting of Hunson Abadir, Marceline's father, playing golf with Peppermint Butler. Bear in mind, Marceline's father is the Lord of Evil and the ruler of the Nightosphere, a chaotic and hellish landscape where demons poop bananas. Seeing Hunson Abadir respect Peppermint Butler to the point where he plays golf with him, most likely a routine activity, again further plays into how he's hiding something evil. His appearance in King Worm was always interesting to me. Peppermint Butler here shows up in Finn's dream to say,
You haven't much time, sir.
What?
You are trapped in a dream, and you are in danger.
he tells him that he needs to find this worm and destroy it. Now, I know it's all a dream, but I always saw this as something more than just Finn's subconscious. I believe it's actually Peppermint Butler performing some dark magic ritual to enter Finn's dream to tell him what to do. I can totally imagine a scenario where Finn and Jake have been trapped in a trance for a few days, so PB asks Peppermint Butler to go check up on them. He arrives to see the King Worm keeping them in this trance and decides to step in. It wouldn't be the first time he bailed out Finn, and if he hadn't ever appeared in that dream, he may never have figured out how to escape. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I make video essays on cartoons, movies, shows, and games almost every week. I'm also posting Fiona and Cake Season 2 episode breakdowns as they come out, and my next big character analysis will be on the one and only Marceline. My next goal is to hit 200,000 subscribers, where I'll be making a big character analysis of Finn. As always, thank you for the continued support. It just helps me better my content for you. Peppermint Butler also has a very interesting cameo in the episode You Made Me. See, PB is showing Finn this machine that can show a person's aura, and he wants to see Peppermint Butler's aura.
You don't want to see that.
Jake here then puts a stop to everything because he's tired and wants to go home. Just look at Peppermint Butler's reaction. Pure relief. His aura must have been something so terrifying, and or it might have exposed his true nature to PB. Let's now get to the episode The Suitor. This is the first episode where we see the kinds of abhorrent shit Peppermint Butler does in his free time. He's doing this creepy satanic ritual, trying to summon this demon called Ogdoad to get to some place called the Shadow Realm. He uses Cinnamon Bun as a willing vessel to speak with him, all the while letting parts of him slip into his mouth like a vampire thirsting for blood. Eventually, the demon takes over Cinnamon Bun.
Peppermint Butler, that's the last straw. I will fill you with the shadow of 1,000 brown portals.
As he's about to make some kind of deal with him, one of the Gumball Guardians shows up, telling him to stop his dark magic antics and takes him away. He tells the butler,
You neglect your duties to the princess. She needs to get out, socialize. The Candy Kingdom worries for its leader, and it worries for you, Dark One.
He then shows him a bunch of these suitors for PB. And so the entire episode has one of the suitors, this guy called Brocco, trying to get PB to love him. What I love is how Peppermint Butler reacts to Bubblegum's initial dismissal of Brocco.
Princess, this lab reeks like brown mist. It's unhealthy. You've got to get outside and do some research on boys.
Later, we see him still trying to negotiate with that demon, but just like last time, the Gumball Guardian shows up and drops Brocco right in front of Peppermint Butler. Brocco looks like absolute shit. The poor guy went through hell this episode. PB is still not interested in dating Brocco, so Peppermint Butler decides to use dark magic from Ogdoad to remedy this. He tells the demon to make Brocco a love magnet in exchange for his freedom. The demon says that this deal will come at an additional price, separate to just his freedom. He transforms Brocco into this disgusting monster. Then we get this funny interaction.
Well, you paid the price, no doubt. And I want to have your babies.
To the princess, then!
Yo, wait, what about me?
At the end of the episode, he goes to PB and asks,
Where is he? Where's Brocco?
I let him go, Peps.
You should have given him to me!
Although he has a small role in this episode, it's the first time we really see his dark magic antics firsthand. I also like the fact that the Gumball Guardians were aware of his creepy shit, referring to him as the Dark One. Yet for some reason they don't intervene. This could mean that Peppermint Butler would never use his powers for anything malicious toward the Candy Kingdom. In the episode The Vault, we see a baby Peppermint Butler retrieving something for PB. This could either mean that PB was conditioning him to be a butler ever since she created him, or he chose to be a butler willingly. I know what the PB haters think. I'll leave this one to you guys. Though if you guys were to ask me personally, well,
I don't care.
Who knew this cute little bastard would grow up to become a satanic worshiper? In the episode Wake Up, we see Peppermint Butler chilling with Death at Prismo's party. He's the one who asks Prismo if it's safe to have the Lich in the time room with everyone partying. Prismo explains that the Lich is harmless because he's lost his entire purpose, to cause as much chaos as he can.
I'm so scared right now.
See, despite Peppermint Butler having an evil side, there's one thing he doesn't worship and is actively afraid of: the Lich. We saw it happen when PB was possessed by him. And now here, in my Lich character breakdown, I said that the Lich is death, obviously in metaphorical terms, but in truth, he's actually beyond death, something that even Peppermint Butler doesn't understand or wants to comprehend. What I'm trying to say is that there are levels to this shit. At the very least, his small interactions / dialogue referring to the Lich indicate that there is a line of evil he won't cross. But then again, he used that area above the candy tree as his lair, where the Lich was imprisoned back in season 2. The episode Nemesis is where Peppermint Butler's occult tendencies stop becoming a joke. There's this group of candy citizens that get together in secret to talk about weird things they notice in the Candy Kingdom. These guys think that not even PB knows about their meetings, when obviously she does. Among the group is this guy called Peacemaster, this cool looking cowboy, clamoring on about,
"Have you ever seen a burn victim?"
He says that there's something evil lurking within the Candy Kingdom and that he plans to purge it. This catches the attention of PB, and before she can even do something, the guy manages to find her secret camera in the ceiling light. He says,
I know you can hear me. Tonight your reign ends. Cause I am totally gonna vanquish you.
PB gets terrified and triggers the alarm. Peacemaster then leaves, and we see the guy's just a wholesome family man outside of his work. His kids want to go to the dark arts fair, but he says no because he hates anything evil. And then he accidentally crashes his car. He blames this on the supposed evil that lurks in the Candy Kingdom. But then we see that Peppermint Butler, with pupilless demonic eyes, was watching him. It's clear from this that the evil that Peacemaster was referring to wasn't PB, but in fact PB. While she tries to call Finn and Jake, and whoever else can take out Peacemaster, Peppermint Butler decides to take matters into his own hands. He secludes himself and performs some mystical ritual when PB asks for some tea. She tells him she's gonna try and find Finn and Jake, and he says,
Okay, take your time.
Take my time, alright?
Through that ritual, the demonic butler enters a new dimension and gets armored up to take on Peacemaster. In this limbo space, he tracks him down and is about to strike him, but because Peacemaster's the GOAT, he counters. The two fight with Peppermint Butler losing, and Peacemaster traps him in his hat, which is actually a portal to another dimension that begins to digest him. Then one of the group members manages to disrupt the process, and Peppermint Butler escapes. He then deploys a dark smoke bomb where the two agree to meet the next day and have a battle. In the wizard battle arena, Peacemaster walks in while Peppermint Butler performs a WWE Undertaker entrance.
Yeah, I'm here.
As Peacemaster prepares, the demon Candy unveils his 3 children underneath his cloak. He turns one of them into a dragon and tells Peacemaster to remove all of his charms. He refuses, and so Peppermint Butler mutates another one of his kids, giving them fairy wings. Peacemaster loses all of his aura, starts crying, and admits defeat before throwing away all of his weapons. He forces Peacemaster to pull down his pants, do a chicken dance, and eat dirt. Otherwise, he'll turn his 3rd child into a demon baby. It's only after he does that does he realize,
Okay, stop. I took it too far.
In the final scene, we see that PB is still stressed out about Peacemaster when Peppermint Butler walks in with her tea. She is completely oblivious to everything that Peppermint Butler just did. When I first watched this as a kid, I fully thought Peppermint Butler was the good guy in this episode, mainly because Peacemaster doesn't look like the nicest guy in the world. But now, it's insane to see just how f***ed Peppermint Butler is. He really didn't have to go for Peacemaster's kids. A case could be made that he was afraid of his weapons, but the fact that he turned them into these monsters just to traumatize the guy shows you how immoral and corrupt he is. What's even crazier is the confirmation that he's managed to hide his dark and evil side from Princess Bubblegum, who is shown time and time again to have cameras everywhere. This guy's a menace, and if he can outsmart PB, he's more than a formidable adversary, most of the time. In the episode Ghostfly, Jake kills a fly.
Sorry you were born a fly and I had to kill you. You disgusting creature.
But it comes back as a ghost and starts wreaking havoc across the treehouse. So Jake calls the one person he knows to have all sorts of remedies for this situation, Peppermint Butler. We even have a cute homage to Exorcist. He draws circles around the 3 to protect them from the Ghostfly and says that his bag possesses the most powerful tools of magic, and as long as they have that...
God damn it.
Well, it's fine though, right? Peppermint Butler still has other tricks up his sleeve. In the episode Hot Diggity Doom, the Candy People hold an election, with PB losing and being dethroned by King of Ooh. What I love is that Peppermint Butler goes with PB instead of staying at the Candy Kingdom. This showcases one of his best traits, loyalty. They go out to PB's Uncle Gumball's worn down cabin, where Peppermint Butler says,
This horrible dump does not meet the level of fancy to which I have become accustomed.
Noted.
a valid point, but I bet he'd love it if there was a demonic shrine where he can practice his dark magic. He also has a very interesting role in Marceline's miniseries Stakes. After Marceline turns back into a human, 5 of the strongest vampires she had slain in the past are resurrected and start causing mayhem. That's when Peppermint Butler, like he's Alfred, presents his entire vampire hunting kit for them to use. PB asks why he has all this stuff, and he responds,
I have these high-tech weapons painstakingly stockpiled in case a certain frenemy of yours decides to turn on us someday.
Later, one of these old-timey vampires, Hierophant, shows up at the cabin while Peppermint Butler's alone, and he just laughs in his face.
May I come in?
You can't come in unless I invite you in. You're so dumb, you sad old relic.
Balls of steel. Hierophant then tracks down the main group, so Peppermint Butler sends a text to PB to warn them. After the vampire starts slapping everyone's shit, a terrified Jake shrinks down and goes into PB's back. That's when he sees another text from Peppermint Butler stating that this vampire is an old head and plays by the old rules. Jake peeks out to see Marceline get poisoned, so he runs out and shapeshifts into a house, telling everyone to get inside. Hierophant now can't enter unless someone invites him in. Eventually, some nonsense happens and he's pushed inside. Following this, the poison within Marceline gets worse, and Peppermint Butler says he has a method to save her back at the castle. They arrive with the guy doing nothing useful.
Don't question my methods!
Before Finn and Jake show up with the Moon, the vampire with rapid healing. She just kind of stares at them with a scary smile for a bit, and when Finn tries to attack her, he just falls over. Jake then falls over too, with Finn stating that she has some other weird power that she's using to stop them from attacking. PB hides Marceline with her in this latch, and it seems like everyone's got their hands tied and can't take her out. But wait a minute, where the hell did Peppermint Butler go? He was just there.
What kind of blasphemy is this?
Oh,
He drops her in front of Marceline and she absorbs her healing powers. On 2 separate occasions, Peppermint Butler has been the MVP of this whole miniseries. If he hadn't messaged PB, Jake wouldn't have realized to turn into a house, and if he hadn't pulled an insane sneak attack, Marceline would have been killed by the Moon. The last vampire they need to hunt down is the Vampire King himself. It's revealed here that Peppermint Butler idolizes the guy and wants his autograph.
Do you think you could ask the VK to sign something for me?
That would be weird. You're weird.
No shit.
Some other stuff goes down, and VK eventually agrees to have his vampire essence removed. All the while, Peppermint Butler eagerly awaits his arrival. He tries to prepare himself, but then freezes upon seeing him.
Say something! Ask him to sign the book!
He then eventually gets the words out of his mouth, but the VK is already strapped to the machine. However, he then telepathically tells Peppermint Butler to look into his diary, where he finds a psychic signature.
Thank you, your darkness.
PB then turns on the machine, which blinds Peppermint Butler, and the VK comes out as this majestic lion. Well, all's well that ends well, right? The next morning, Princess Bubblegum tells Pep Butt to take out the bucket of pure vampire essence and bury it deep below the surface so no one can find it. But most importantly,
don't drop the bucket.
Exactly.
Will do.
Because he's temporarily blind, he steps on VK's tail and the bucket gets sent flying. He pulls a masterclass and manages to keep it in the air until it lands near Jake. And thankfully, the bucket doesn't open. Well, all's well that ends well, right?
Bucky.
If you pause at the right moment, you'll catch a frame that shows Peppermint Butler splitting into various pieces. In the finale, Finn stressfully tries to pick up the remains of him, but PB stops him.
But...
It's fine. Pep-Butt used to love being scattered all around. He used to tell me that.
Lies!
You've gotta love their relationship. In the final few scenes of the miniseries, we see her putting Peppermint Butler back together. And Jellybeans have power. We find out that after Patience awakened the Elemental Princess's dormant abilities, PB has had trouble channeling her own. One night, while Peppermint Butler is practicing his creepy meditation, he hears PB rustling through her lap. What I love is how he acts like a father to her sometimes.
Show me your hand, young lady.
Seeing her in distress, Peppermint Butler trains her.
Oh, be glob.
Yeah, don't you mean Golb, you satanic diabolical son of a mother. On top of this, Peppermint Butler also acts as her therapist briefly, but she's cut off when the Candy Kingdom is attacked.
Wait, we were so close to a breakthrough!
The key takeaway from this episode about him is that despite his deep fascination and near obsession with dark occult magic, he yet again shows just how loyal he is to PB. I'll discuss the episode Marcy Hunson briefly. This takes place during the final arc of the show that has to do with taking out Princess Bubblegum's Uncle Gumball. Peppermint Butler decides to curse Finn's sword with dark magic to take on PB's rogue family. We also get this funny scene.
I like your swordsmith hat.
I'm wearing it in honor of my special guest.
Am I your special guest?
No.
His actual special guest is in fact none other than Marcy's father, Hunson Abadir. After he's summoned, Pep asks him to imbue Finn's sword with Nightosphere magic, and he does so. The thing is, he doesn't want to leave just yet and wants to see Marcy, so he starts giving us a sob story.
Have some dignity, man!
Pep then breaks open the circle and lets him go for one whole day, but he binds him to these magic handcuffs, which disables his powers. See, earlier I mentioned that picture of Peppermint Butler and Hunson, which hinted at them being quite close, but this scene conveys that they had some sort of falling out. More importantly though, it's just crazy that Pep managed to restrain him with such ease. This guy's so overpowered. When he has to unbind Hunson's powers, he gets knocked out by a peanut. No, seriously, a singular peanut.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
One night he's the MVP, the next he's useless. In the episode Gumbaldia, Peppermint Butler cleans up Finn and Jake and is accidentally exposed to Uncle Gumball's Dum Dum juice, which turns him into a baby. Yeah, seriously, he just goes back to zero. In the finale Come Along With Me, Peppermint Butler makes a cameo in the montage scene. We see him reading up on dark magic, implying that his evil interests will eventually resurface. And that is where his story ends. Or does it? We now arrive at the Distant Lands miniseries. I'll admit something to you guys. I purposely didn't watch Wizard City when it came out. Why? Because I was completely satisfied with the idea that the final Adventure Time scene I would ever watch would be Finn and Jake being reborn together. And for a long time, I stuck with that. But then this thing came along. I was never spoiled on what happened in Wizard City, so I always thought that the episode would be about Peppermint Butler's backstory. But no, it's actually just a full-blown sequel picking up from after he was turned into a baby. He comes to Wizard City, now a little older than we last saw him, in hopes that he can learn the dark arts and get back to his old self again. After a wizard cons him, his evil side resurfaces. He uses dark magic to rip the guy's head off. In fact, we even hear his evil voice layered over his younger one.
Do I strike down my foe?
The thing is, dark magic is illegal in Wizard City, but Peppa is left off with a warning. He then joins up with these other kids present at the scene, and he introduces himself.
I'm Peppermint, but you can call me Pep.
And the kids immediately ask,
Are you related to
Peppermint Butler? The Dark One, the Lord of Chaos.
I heard he got banned from Wizard City for stealing forbidden magics, and then he destroyed Wizard City.
I heard he started the Great Gum Wars and was killed by Gold.
Oh brother, if these kids found out how he got taken out, his entire reputation would be in the dirt. Pep then denies any relation, however. Later, during auditions for the school, Pep uses a Nightosphere spell to light up this candle, which ends with him being humiliated. Despite this, Dr. Caledonius, one of the professors, admits him anyway, saying that he shows real potential. Pep is placed in the lowest ranks, and after those friends flame him for this, it looks like he's gonna puke. He runs to his dorm, and look who shows up.
A flame from the Nightosphere? That's basic flippin' baby magic.
I'm sorry.
Abracadaniel's niece, Kadebra, then sees this and is about to get help when Pep stops her, saying that it's some sort of curse. We find out that in the past, Peppermint Butler cast a dark spell on himself to make sure he'd always want to become a powerful dark wizard, no matter what happened to him. Pep then lies to Kadebra, saying Peppermint Butler is his uncle and he's the one who's cursed him. After this, we see an entire montage sequence of Pep failing his classes.
But this baby here can reverse engineer any concoction back to its alchemical components. Schwazza!
Oh, whoa, hey.
We also get the scene of Pep getting entranced by this strange structure.
Order of dark wizards took over the school and turned it into a temple dedicated to the worship of... well, we really don't know who.
Not so subtle foreshadowing here. Anyway, after Spader, the jock he met at the start, destroys his magic assignment and picks on him, Pep speaks with the ghost of his past once more. He tells him to stop around, get off his ass, and show Spader what he can really do.
Show him you mean business!
Unbeknownst to him, Blaine, one of Spader's friends, overheard everything. Spader then mysteriously disappears, and Blaine accuses Pep of being behind it.
It's like you're trying to screw up.
Please, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Throw them off your trail, even if you have to lie, cheat, and steal.
He then bumps into Dr. Caledonius, who believes he's innocent and says he's destined for greatness. Yeah, she stinks to high heaven. Pep is then framed and caught by the police, with Blaine finding proof that Pep is in fact Peppermint Butler.
Why did I bring that?
After he's taken away, Caledonius gives Kadebra the idea of using a locator spell to find him, and that's when we realize what's actually going on. See, the school has this cult made up of most of its professors, who reveal that they're trying to resurrect Kokentepe, this evil primordial monster. We actually first saw him in the vision that the Lich/Sweet Pea projects in gold stars. We learned that he came to Earth millions of years ago, and when he died, usurpers of Wizard City hid his body underground. The cult eventually discovered his heart, which was leaking ichor/blood, and they are now trying to find someone worthy to drink it to be reincarnated into him. They tried with Spader, and that went to shit. But of course, they've now finally found the right person. A person who's had a lust for evil and studied dark magic for centuries. Peppermint Butler himself. It's no wonder Caledonius was keeping such a close eye on him. They tempt Pep, saying that he will finally become the most powerful wizard of all, effectively skipping all of the hard work. Throughout the episode, Pep shows clear hesitation about listening to his past self.
You won't be little Peppermint anymore. Being me hasn't worked out so good.
Kadebra says that he can become the most powerful wizard in his own way.
It's a long road, and it'll be way harder. Like stupid hard. But you'll own it.
The cult then grabs a hold of her, and Pep speaks to Peppermint Butler once more.
What are you waiting for? Drink the ichor.
After hearing Kadebra's pleas, he succumbs, and what emerges is this amalgamation named Peppermint Teppy. He takes out the cult before evolving into a more powerful version, where he loses all control. Kadebra is obviously outmatched, but after using cheap magic tricks, she manages to distract him and attacks his abdomen, causing him to cough up the ichor. Peppermint Butler reverts back, and we are given the final meeting between the past and present versions of him. Peppermint Butler yells at him, saying he was so close to becoming him again, and Pep responds,
"You're not my dad!"
"Oh, come on, you know I had to do that." In all seriousness, he says,
"Not my destiny! You're my stop past!"
And that's the end of Peppermint Butler. He reveals,
"Listen, I still want to be a powerful wizard jerk, just not him."
And so Pep becomes close friends with Kadebra and gets to the highest rank in the school. Now, like I said, I was initially dreading finishing this episode when I learned it was a sequel instead of a prequel, but I was pleasantly surprised to find such a meaningful story. What started as a story about becoming the dark wizard he once was, turns out to be a story about unmaking him. Pep botched spells, pushed people away, and it's only when he finally stops chasing the shadow of his past that he begins to move forward. So, does he become someone better? Well, the last time we see Peppermint Butler, not counting Fiona and Cake since he's only made cameos so far, is in the final ending to Adventure Time together again. After Finn and Jake get stuck in the first dead world, they decide to contact Princess Bubblegum for help. It's revealed that Peppermint Butler has taken her place as princess. Honestly, a very realistic and obvious choice given how loyal he was to her. Ghost versions of Finn and Jake appear and ask him to help them take down the new death. He responds by sending them to find the goddess Life, who can take care of it. However, in classic Pep Butt fashion,
but a favor for a favor.
He asks to use their dead bones for a spell.
What kind of spell?
Bone spell.
Alright, I guess. I don't know where they are though, so you'll have to—
Oh, I already have them.
Yeah, so I mean, he said he still wanted to learn dark magic, but given that he's the ruler of the Candy Kingdom now, it's possible he's grown past the worst parts of his former self. It's ambiguous. Peppermint Butler started out as a background character, a character who helped Finn and Jake out whenever they needed it, but was always hinted at having a dark side. He constantly dove into the dark arts, often using them to slay other evils, but in some cases, he did it to make a point. His confrontation with Peacemaster showed that Peppermint Butler wasn't someone with a moral high ground. I mean, the guy turned his kids into monsters just to fuck with him. Peacemaster just hated evil, and that included Peppermint Butler. Honestly, other than what he did to his kids, what else has he done that's been so horrid? Yeah, sure, he does satanic rituals every now and then. I mean, who doesn't? We have to acknowledge how many times he came in clutch in the show. He saved Finn and Jake countless times, and even saved Marceline. He was the true MVP, even helping the main pair out after they died. He reminds me a lot of characters like Bill Cipher, who seem to be benevolent at first, but their true nature is immoral and sinful. He's also very much like Palpatine.
I am the Senate.
The only difference is Peppermint Butler rose to power through his undying loyalty to Princess Bubblegum and the Candy Kingdom, and not through conniving schemes. Oh, it would be so funny if what I just said doesn't age well. Speaking of his loyalty, he actually shares a surprising amount in common with Alfred. You know, a lot of people commented on my Bubblegum video comparing Bubblegum to Batman. She's always prepared, always making hard, morally great decisions that look questionable but serve a bigger purpose. And if PB is our Batman, then it makes sense she'd need an Alfred. Someone loyal, someone who keeps her grounded, and someone who cares enough to call her out on all her shit. Peppermint Butler sort of fits that role. He's not as openly emotional or dramatic as Alfred, but he sometimes acts like a concerned parent to her, just like Alfred does to Batman. It's also important to acknowledge what a menace he is for keeping all of his dark magic shit right under PB's nose. As I said, I used to feel like I wanted more of his backstory, but after watching and analyzing all of these episodes, I realized that's the point. His backstory remaining ambiguous is what makes him such a great character. You're not supposed to see exactly what his past is, you're supposed to let your imagination wander through the various implications we are given. His story should be about redemption, but Wizard City and Together Again make it clear that it's not. In a lot of ways, it's about identity, about forgiveness, and about transformation. He's sweet with a sting, the friend you trust with your life, but maybe not your soul, and the unexpected hand that reaches out from the shadows to assist you. In him lives the sweetness of sin, challenging fate's instruction. Peppermint Butler is the candy of corruption. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I wanted to just give you guys a big thank you for watching my videos and every single one of you who leave such kind comments. Seriously, it means the world, and it boosts my motivation tenfold to keep making these kinds of videos. Also, I wanted to mention something quickly. YouTube has been a little unpredictable lately, and creators have been getting hit with bans literally out of nowhere. Just in case something ever happens to this channel, I'd love to keep this community together. If you want to stay connected, please follow me on my other socials too. They can be found down below. That way, if anything drastic ever happens to this channel, you'll always know where to find me, and this community won't just fade into nothingness. I also want to give a huge thank you to all of you for 150,000 subscribers. And don't worry, I'll be holding holding up my end of the bargain and making a big Marceline character analysis sometime in December. We're reaching ever so closer to 200k, and when that happens, I'm making a huge analysis on Finn. Consider joining my Patreon if you want to support me further, and check out my fantasy fiction book, The Shattered Absolution, heavily inspired by Adventure Time and the other shows I cover. The link is down below, and I want to thank you once again for watching.